This unusual, ongoing case has remained in the obscure files of the LAPD. The countless string of crimes that are connected to our suspect begin here, at the start of his affliction, that some debate was a wrong place, wrong time kind of chemical reaction. Early in the morning of April 5th in Los Angeles, California, our suspect, Victor Elles, age 25, has become mentally unstable after a tough month of losing his job, car, and girlfriend. Victor is also an aspiring writer who hasn't had any luck, and for a few days, locked in his apartment, he uses his writing for the strange dangers of an oppressed mind. At this point, his behavior is completely unpredictable.
One morning, too prepared and set for a headache, too filled with worry and sore with it, the clock pulsed and throbbed through my temples. Finding comfort in the restroom, the cool countertop porcelain sink bowl, hum a cold escape into gem heaven. Gem heaven is bright and dark at the best moments, like a classic story of suspense, soft and scary in excitement.
Victor was already unstable, but one too many stresses tipped him overboard. Out on the street in a high temperament, Victor may not know it, but he is looking for trouble.
The walk down the street wasn't great. I was fed up with my messy mind that was winding and rewinding, winding and rewinding. A misery.
After expressing anger by throwing garbage on the sidewalk, Edmund Roa, an off-duty cop, immediately takes action.
Pick that up.
What? No!
I'm with law enforcement. If you're littering, that's a crime.
No, it was already there.
Victor continues to argue with Edmund and refuses to comply.
That I dropped these pieces of papers, fuck you!
You know what?
Cop!
Buddy, since you're not gonna listen to me, I'm gonna call an off-duty, and he's gonna cite you. You're making your own misery, man.
The rewinding needed to be busted. The misery needed to be broken. The moment needed to be beaten.
Victor moves into a fit of rage and knocks out Officer Roa. In a panic, he stuffs the officer into the car. takes the driver's seat, and in result of the pressure, speeds off in the vehicle. With the officer completely unconscious, the disillusioned Victor gets Roa's ID and finds the officer's place of living. Victor arrives at the officer's house and drags Roa in. Luckily, Roa's roommate was at work. Who knows what could have happened? Inside, Victor realizes what he has just done and decides to write an apology letter to Roa.
I'm sorry. Sometimes things get too hot to handle. They boil over before you realize the damage it's done. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope you can forgive me and let this mishap be forgotten. Please. And thank you.
On his way out, Victor steals the officer's high-priced vintage city bike that is worth $5,000. When Officer Roa awakes, he reads the letter, sees his bike is gone, and packs his gun. Even though it is his day off, this was his first mistake. Roa makes his second mistake and does not notify anyone, but instead decides to take matters into his own hands, keeping it a complete personal vendetta. Roa searches the streets and finds Victor on his bike. Roa gets out of the car and physically attacks Victor, and they begin to fight. A pedestrian jumps in to help Officer Roa. And when another pedestrian jumps in with a bat, he knocks out the wrong guy. Victor grabs Roa's gun and holds them both at gunpoint so that he can get away.
Don't move. Don't follow me.
After Victor has run away, a man who has seen the whole thing notifies the authorities, and finally, the pursuit is on the radar of law enforcement.